Hello and welcome back to the Yarn Hoarder's Crafting Podcast. My name is Sasha and I'm coming to you today from a grey and dreary town just outside of Birmingham in the West Midlands here in the UK. It is the 1st of October today and this is episode 32. So I have 4 whips to update you on, some yarn that's coming to stash, and that's pretty much it. What should I start with? We'll start with this one, which is kind of exploding out of the bag, but it's fine. So this project is the chunky weight hexagon cardigan that I am making for my mum for Christmas. It is using, I'll find the label, the marble chunky, which is the colour number is MC15, which is the aubergine mix. This is a 100% acrylic yarn, but it's quite a nice acrylic. Mum has pets, it needs to go through the washing machine. But it's this beautiful dark purple, and I have sorry, I pin it together with the crochet hook so I don't lose it. So the last time you saw this I had just run out of yarn, but both panels were in the same place, which was about here where the yellow stitch marker is. I have added 3.5 rounds because the yellow round was only a half round, but it's coming along quite nicely. I think I calculated that I need to do 2 more rounds on this one, get the second panel to the same points, and then I can stitch up the sleeve seam, and then add a few rows on each side for the back, at which point I then think I need to go and find a YouTube video and reacquaint myself with what I'm supposed to be doing next. But it's coming along quite nicely. This should easily be done in time for Christmas, although it is terrifying to know that it's the 1st of October and Christmas is in 2.5 months. So this is the 3rd ball of this so far. They are 200-gram balls, cakes, donuts, skeins, whatever you want to call these, and it's coming along. I only actually worked on this for about 2 hours last night. There's another project that I've been working on quite a lot recently, which has a lot of progress, which I will probably show last because it's the most interesting. I'm going to try and squish this back into the bag. I think I might need to transfer this to a tote bag because it's kind of bursting out of the seams, but it's coming along and I'm sure my mum will absolutely love it when it is done. My next project is my current sock project, which, thanks to being shorter than what I normally do, means I already have 1 finished sock. So I think I was about here last week, so I finished the first sock and I am ready for the heel on the second sock, and I can actually take the yarn out of the bag this week because I have finally finished the 3 smaller balls that I ended up with when this yarn bathed. But here it is all caked up, and it is the Hobie Halloween sock wool in the zombie sock colourway, which is colour number 04. And yeah, it is officially October, so it's technically Halloween month. So these should be finished. I'll be heading off to the gym later, where I will probably get the heel flap done. And yeah, these aren't exactly overly interesting. They are just vanilla socks. These are done on a 2.5mm with 20 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then just a vanilla stockinette leg and foot. They are heel flap and gussets, and they are 64 stitches. So they're pretty much just something that go out and about with me, appointments, meetings, stuff like that. And the third project is one that hasn't been shown here for a little while. It's in this little bag. If I didn't already mention all of the bags that I show, like all these project bags, I made myself, not for any other purpose than I just wanted some project bags. So this is a Tunisian crochet project. It is using the James C. Brett DK, which is a, what is it, 80% acrylic and 20% wool blend. And although it's DK weight, it's a very, very generous meterage of 550 meters. It does have a very brushed texture, and let's see if I can get it out. Okay, I can't really get it out of the bag properly because it's trying to fall apart, but that is the ball, and I have this much. So this is going to be a cowl for a friend of mine for Christmas. I only work on this sort of in the evenings, as it's quite a simple project. I am almost to the point where I will start working straight rather than increasing on both sides. And once I start doing that, I'll do that for about like 5 or 6 inches, cast off, and then I shall sew it up. So it'll be sort of just a little round the neck piece. I will also block this because Tunisian crochet curls like crazy. But it's quite a nice simple project. It's done just in a basic Tunisian simple stitch, and this is on a 5.5mm. It is quite a dense gauge for this. Usually I'd use like a 6.5 for a DK weight, but because this is for a cowl and this is quite fine, I wanted a denser gauge so it'd be warmer. But this is how far it's come. It's doing well. Yeah, these are very much her style of colours. She is quite a bright rainbow kind of person. That's not my style, but I will happily make for her. Pretty much all of my friends, basically all of my friends are very knit worthy and appreciate everything I make for them. So that's that one. And the last project for this week is the big one. It's the one that's seen the most work in my Harry Potter bag. And it is using, I'll just pull it all out the bag first. So it is using the Worthmill Yarns Saddleworth in the colourway Kingfisher, and this is tangled. Oh, there we go. This is the Jones cardigan that I am making for my other half, and I have this much done. So I was down here last time. I think it's about doubled in size since last week. It is now, I think, about 8 to 8.5 inches. So I've still got another 10 to 11 inches to go, but I am loving this project. It's really scratching that itch for cables. So this is being knit on a, excuse me, this is being knit on a 4mm, and I am using a cable needle. I prefer to do my cables with a cable needle. I have tried doing cables without a cable needle and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. If it works for you, that's great. I'm just going to stick to a cable needle. I'm quicker. I know being quick isn't necessarily the name of the game, but I prefer the safety as well. I don't lose stitches that way, and I really don't want this to start laddering back and having to try and fix a cable. But this is so nice. It's a very toothy wool. It's not a yarn I would recommend if you're sensitive to wool, or if you prefer a smooth, soft superwash. This isn't the yarn for you. I will also say, the way the yarn is made up, it does kind of unply itself quite easily, and can be a little bit on the splitty side. And my leg is going to sleep. I've been sat down too long. So yeah, if you're not a fan of splitty yarns, this also probably isn't one for you. But I am adoring this project. I do have a goal to do 5 repeats of the pattern a week, and last week I successfully did 5.5 cable repeats. I think I've already done 2 this week. I'm kind of averaging a repeat a night, so I'm counting it Monday to Sunday. I didn't touch a single knitting project on Saturday because I was just out of the house, so I think doing 5 repeats a week was a good choice as a goal. So hopefully this will be ready in time for Christmas. I don't think it's going to be ready in time for him to wear to the office Christmas party, but hopefully it'll be done by the end of December. But it should be. I mean, once you finish the main body, you're working with even less stitches, and I think the thing that's going to take the longest time is probably the shawl collar, mostly because you pick up the entirety of the button band and the collar and you knit that all in one, which I have a feeling is going to be the better part of 500 stitches, which doesn't fill me with joy. Mostly because I don't really want to have to bind off 500 plus stitches, but he's worth it. And project wise, that is everything. I was going to do my stash stats, but I haven't finished anything besides my golden oak and the socks, so it's still just 250 grams out for September. And unfortunately there is yarn in. So this week, if you watch this the day it comes out, it still technically is, but this week is Yarn Stravaganza. It is a event run by UK Hand Knitting, and my local yarn shop takes part in it, and they offer discounts and goodie bags during the week. And on top of it, this year Yarn Stravaganza happened to fall on my local yarn shop's anniversary of opening, so she had the person who runs my local yarn shop had 20% off the Mode at Rowan range. And so I have had this yarn since Wonderwool last year. It was one of my only impulse buys last year. It is Lottie Knits Halo Lace in the Foxglove colourway, and I knew I wanted to make a sweater vest with this. I've only got 2 skeins, so I only got 800 metres. So I knew I wanted to make a sweater vest, but I knew I'd have to hold it with something. And so I decided to take advantage of the 20% off the Mode at Rowan yarns and bought some of the alpaca wool. So this is a 50-50 wool and alpaca blend. It is very, very soft. I have used this yarn before to make a jumper for my partner last year, and I'm going to be holding this kind of, I'd call it silver, a silver grey. I'm going to be holding this with this to make another vest number 2 spring edition by My Favourite Things Knitwear. It's a pattern I already own. I do like it, and to be honest, I can't really find another sort of DK weight sweater vest that I like the look or the fit of. So I'm going to stick with the pattern I've got. I am going to adjust it slightly, because there is one thing I found with a lot of sweater vests is the armhole is way too low. I don't know whether that's just the style of it or people like to wear them with big sleeves, but I find the sweater vest, it's way too low, and it doesn't really keep you warm if it's down here. So, but I'm going to try and get this cast on relatively soon, mostly because there's 250 grams of yarn that's gone into my stash, which means I bought more in September than I used, which leads me to another thing. So last year I went to the Christmas wool show at the NCC, and the last time I checked the website previously, it said it wasn't taking place again until 2026. And then I watched Mace's Makes last week after recording last week's episode, and found out that it is now taking place on the 16th of November, so 6 weeks time. I will be going to that event. I want to support the organisers, so I'm going to a second wool show this year. Poor Sash. So I kind of want to finish some things, get some stuff used before that, just to try and stick or keep with my stash neutral goal for this year. If you're not aware, my goal this year is not to like reduce stash or grow stash, it's to be stash neutral, which means being sort of 500 grams either side of 0. And I currently need to use another 650 grams to be at stash neutral in the positive end. So yeah, I kind of need to get a wiggle on some of these projects. And that's all of the yarny content. Not really any life stuff to talk about. I've just been busy. There's nothing really of note to mention. Starting tomorrow, which is technically the 2nd of October, I know, I'm going to be doing some simple vlogging for a Vlogtober. I'm going to try and release 1 video a week for that. Probably try and release them on Tuesdays. They're not going to be the most exciting and the most interesting vlogs out there. This month I'm trying not to spend any money if I can help it. Not for any other reason than I just want money to spend at the Christmas Wool Show next month. But there'll be some stuff, like tomorrow I plan on making a couple of Halloween bags once I've finished editing. And yeah, I might vlog some of my cooking. Other than that, it's mostly just for a bit of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Yarn Hoarders Crafting Podcast, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys.